Thank you, and welcome again to Samadhi Game. I'm sorry, for some reason we lost sound there for a short period of time. We were talking about dispute and resolution and how we can actually process dispute and resolution using the Enlightenment with Squares process. I know it sounds kind of funny that we're actually dealing with dispute and resolution on
before Valentine's Day.
Valentine's
but
Day.
You know what? Around holidays, there's a lot of fights that go on.
And it's important for couples to know how to deal with this. It's important for couples, not only for siblings and relatives and other people in your lives, but for couples as well, twin flames, and people who are living together and loving each other. Eventually, there will be places in the road that you have to iron them out. You have to come to some sort of resolution. You have to go through the dispute and understand each other. And so we figured, instead of just going to the lovey-dovey, beautiful, relationship stuff.
You can't have stalemates.
No, you can't.
No, you have to work
You have to work through things. So we thought today we would go through this dispute and resolution rather than just, as I say, it's all Valentine's and Cupid's arrows today and tomorrow.
Tomorrow will be.
Tomorrow will be. Yeah, tomorrow after we deal with this today and we clear the road, then we will have
the dawn of a new day.
The dawn of a new day will be there, and the integrity of man will stand forth. And that those powers from on high will stream through us. Actually, they're streaming through us even now.
Yes.
99%. And that's that 1% that we're going after today, that 1% of the fly in the ointment that is the dispute and the resolution, the polarities, the dualities of it. So we're asking for that unbiased perspective to sit right in the middle. Before we had lost sound, we processed the dual human ego using the desire for resolution, the fear of resolution, the desire for dispute and the fear of dispute, putting it on paper and working it out so that we actually have a record of it in the physical octave rather than just letting it be an unconscious thing that's happening to us. So here we are. We've gone through this process of going through this. If you can, you might want to go back and see the archived version of what we did this morning. We had sound for a little bit of time while we were working with this. So you might be able to go back and see that. But let's go ahead and do some Samadhi Game mantras, now bringing some matrix of perfection to this idea of resolving or reconciling this dual human ego. So let's go to the opening pillar of light, the pillar of the world. Let me just get it in the right frame here so you can all see everything. Okay, let's go ahead and go on and say these words together.
Yes.
Sublime I am Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance. My identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet, compassionate flame. Enter and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, and reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with the tangible substance, living awareness, and conscious activity, the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters.
Seeing, feeling, and
hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I am Samadhi. Let's give it again, because as we give these mantras repeatedly, they become more of a pattern in our mind that allows that light from our higher self to descend into this planet as a tantric awakening. Sublime I am Samadhi that I am, enfolding me now in that mighty, magic, electronic pillar of cosmic light substance. My identification with its magnificent humility and thoughtful creativity, so powerful and complete, that I artfully and magically alter every polarity with healing unity. Within this majestic pillar of light blazes that love as the violet, compassionate flame. Enter and around my etheric, mental, emotional, and physical bodies, effortlessly dissolving, consuming, transmuting, and reconciling the dualities of my human ego, charging my world and all I contact with a tangible substance, living awareness,
and conscious activity.
the presence and superconscious samadhi of all enlightened beings, liberated and ascended masters, seeing, feeling, and hearing this light as it shines, radiates, and resonates within me as a visible pillar of the world, stabilized, supported, and sustained by the brilliant, elegant One, and infinitely sensitive to that invulnerable state of divine I Am Samadhi. Let's hold up our hands. Hold up those hands. Yeah. And say, Om. 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 Eternity is my home.
I do all
It is necessary to actualize this ever-fresh realization and organize my life around it. Now, as we were giving that last mantra, Ravi noticed that my head was fitting into a different world.
He's got the most beautiful curls. It's just they're not.
And she got some water and tried to flatten it out, but let's just have some fun with this hair.
I love it. It's just he brushed the curls out. He's still adorable though. My adorable state of the mind. Yes, I did do that.
She just spit on my hair in public. Here. Okay, so eternity is my home. It's your home too. So, it's really amazing what, these mantras do. We find that when we do these mantras on a regular basis, the road rises up before us. Things change. Happiness comes, even in the middle, in the midst of challenging or seemingly overwhelming situations.
God, where you want to curl up in a ball and say, "Make it go away."
But you know what? Trish was, we have a tribe of people out there, and one of them is our beloved Trish on Facebook. A lot of you might know her. Patricia McGrath. And she commented this morning that, when people do, she affirmed this idea, when people do Samadhi game, it's like a stimulant to life, to say these words and to hold these concepts of identity. The divine identity stimulates everything. It brings everything up for transmutation, even the karmic patterns that you've been living in. And they need to be reconciled. They need to be looked at. They need to be understood with an unbiased perspective. And Samadhi Game gives us the opportunity to do that. By doing these mantras, expect an acceleration in your life. Expect miracles to happen. Because the miracles come out of that acceleration.
Yeah, like instantaneously. The phone rings, the knock at the door. The person in the swimming area noticing.
Just even miracles. Quite frankly, it's Valentine's Day too, and I'm going to get a little lovey-dovey. But every time I look into your eyes, Robbie, it's a miracle. It's a miracle that
that we got together.
That we've come together. It's a miracle that we share our love. It's a miracle of the commitment that we've made to each other, and the support that we have for each other, moment by moment, day by day, even through the thick and thin of this rising dual human ego that's asking to be transmuted. The commitment that we've made for that. You are my Valentine. I am yours.
You are my Valentine.
So let's go on. Let's do some more mantras. Let's give an opportunity of Samadhi Game to raise up that road. I'd like to do, this is one that we wrote recently, in the fact that oftentimes when we stand in the light, when we stand in our true self, people have animosity for that. They resent it in some ways. They feel as though you're leaving them alone in arrears, and different reasons. But I had to write this mantra, which is it reflects all odium. Odium. Do you know what odium is?
No, I do not. Please explain.
Well, it sounds kind of bad, doesn't it?
Odium. It sounds like Garfield's pal, Odie.
Well, odium is all negativity. It's disgust. It's abhorrence. It's repugnance. It is that negativity that is sort of a stinky, smelling thing, And
yeah, actually, it is. And cancer, hatred causes cancer, and cancer stinks.
Yeah,
they take it out. It smells like horrible.
It does. So when people are speaking badly of you or thinking badly of you, you can feel that. If you're sensitive and you've spent some time developing your higher self, you'll be able to begin to feel the thoughts, which are tangible things of others. Samadhi Game's all about that, by the way, as thoughts being tangible things. They're not just ethereal non-substance. They are actual substance. So you can start to feel that, and instead of feeling it and being depressed or affected by it, we put on this armor of the pillar of light, the pillar of the world, this tube of light around you, if you will. We also can put on this odium reflecting one-way mirror. It's as though we're establishing a one-way mirror around us, so that anyone that is sending negativity to us,
all those arrows,
arrows. There's that Little Buddha, I think was the name of the movie. I think it was a Martin Scorsese film, and he depicted the Buddha sitting under the bo tree, and all of negativity wanted to send him arrows of misfortune. And so he sits there, and they show these thousands and thousands of arrows coming at him. And in his love, he creates this reflecting mirror. And they all just fall aside. They all just fall aside. And so we can do the same thing. We can create an actual mirror, visualizing this mirror powerfully around us, so that all odium is instantly reflected back to its sender. So whoever the sender is, beware, here it comes. Let's go ahead and give the mantra now. About this pillar of light, this pillar of the world, this forgiving samadhi that I am, here, manifest now, about me, a one-way mirror reflecting back to its sender. And you can, if you know the name of your sender, you can actually say the names. I'll just think mine. I'll visualize mine. And then we continue on. What are we sending back to the sender? All odium, hatred, ill will, disgust, abhorrence, repugnance, revulsion, loathing, detestation, obloquy, opprobrium, vituperation, condemnation, denunciation, abuse, criticism, censure, defamation, denigration, calumny, insults, castigation, excoriation, disgrace, dishonor, shame, discredit, stigma, humiliation, loss of face, ignominy, disfavor, disrepute, infamy, stain, hostility, antipathy, anger, abomination, and scandal. And then we do these little verses like cheerleaders in a football stadium. And our words have power. Reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide,
roll them back, roll them back, roll them back,
reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, roll them back, roll them back, roll them back, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reverse the tide, reflections command, here, manifest now, in, and then again, see or say, or do both, see and say the names of those who you believe are sending you negativity, you can consciously know who these people are. It's pretty easy. And in these people, see now all forgiveness, pardon, absolution, exoneration, remission, dispensation, clemency, mercy, reprieve, amnesty, grace, compassion, charity, forbearance, quarter, humanity, kindness, empathy, tolerance, generosity, boon, favor, peace, magnanimity, and beneficence. And I say, be wise as serpents and gentle as doves.
Ooh, and this is the year of the serpent.
It is.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yes, that's it.
it just started.
We just came out of your year, the year of the dragon, and Dante's year is the same. And now it's a snake. So there is some good qualities of being a snake.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What?
Well, be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. And this mantra is very much being wise as serpents. We have to acknowledge the fact that there are those who would move against the innocence, the light, the joy, the peace, the integrity of the truth that we want to stand for in our hearts. And we have to act strongly and create that boundary, create that reflecting mirror so that we're not affected by it, so that our light can grow rather than being sucked out of us.
Yeah, Maya Angelou says, I may change over these circumstances, but it will never reduce me.
That's so beautiful. Maya Angelou has some beautiful, very
Wisdom.
Practical, tantric wisdom.
Yes, she's like a
Very
shaman.
beautiful. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
very beautiful. Let's go on. Let's give some more of this, the wisdom. Let's affirm for ourselves our heart identity. Let's go ahead and say this again. At this time of Valentine's, when people are coming together in love, there's a lot also of people falling apart in hatred. And we have to recognize when some people have withdrawn the light from our beings. We have actually given light from our beings to, and they have misused it. They have not returned it to us in kind. So let's go ahead and give heart identity reclaimed. This is another strong mantra. It's sort of a paradox that we're giving it here the day before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to clear the slate so that we can go on and have a clear path in front of us. Let's go ahead and give heart identity reclaimed today. O electrons of life, stamped with my unique, individualized I am identity, having been given to the swirling aura of, and here you can say the names of those individuals that are not returning your light in kind, that have somehow betrayed the light, the joy, the love that you've given them.
And begged for.
And begged over and over for from them. And you've asked them, please return this. I'm giving you love. I am experiencing love. I want to share love with you. And still, what do you get? Nothing.
Starts to rip
Anger, manipulation, control. And when that starts to happen, you have to withdraw that energy, those unique electrons that you are stamped with your unique identity. You withdraw them from that person by the power of your spoken word and your visualization. Having been given to the swirling aura of, and then that person again, you say their name. Feel now the strong and powerful magnet of my honorable and healing heart be drawn and reclaimed to this, my wholeness. As, and again, you say the name of that individual. I'll just think it. You can think it.
I'll think mine.
And I thus do part. With this passion, I love, honor, and let go of, and then say the name of that person again. Mentally, emotionally, and physically. With faith, I trust in the overflowing abundance from that substance of love called surrender and forgiveness to replace any inharmonious and disruptive patterns of attachment I created for and with, and then say the name again. Perfect now, perfect now, perfect now, and then say the name again. From you, I withdraw and reclaim every erg of energy of my heart's unique identity, and I cut you loose and set you free. Oh, how freeing that is. And you'll notice that all of this is done in pure love and forgiveness. It's not done in anger, but it is done that way. And you can feel sometimes anger arising in you as you give this. And the goal of this mantra is to allow yourself to view those subfrequencies of anger that are still there and to let them go. And at the same time, you are withdrawing because it's in anger, resentment, frustration with another person, that person continues to hold those electrons. You can't remove them or bring them back as long as you are angry about it. So you let it go, you let it flow, and those electrons just come sucking back into your heart, rebuilding your auric field to the place it was before you were stolen from, if you will. So these mantras are powerful. They're powerful, magical formulas of inner truth, and we can say them aloud and embed them in our consciousness in such a manner that they arise spontaneously during the day as you're going about your work, and that brings even more intensity and love and focus to your work, and even more unbiased perspective. Let's do the heartfelt tangible samadhi.
Please.
Okay, heartfelt tangible samadhi. Come on. O Great Spirit, O Mighty I Am Samadhi at the center of all creation, radiant with illuminating fire, O heartfelt parent of all sons and sons, pour forth that life-giving power and fan the spark of that divinity on the altar of my heart. Amplify and magnify this spark by the fire breath of the whole I Spirit into the potent God flame that I am. O the shimmering fountain of life, that I hear, feel, smell, taste, and see within me. I choose this constant cascade of liquid light, actively receiving its shimmering directive radiance, tangibly and powerfully manifest in my experience. I open the innermost temple of love within this evident, ebullient, celestial, cosmic fire. I manifest that life and light for our healing and regeneration, letting the breath, height, fullness, and crown of the solar radiance of the sun behind the sun appear. I stand forth. Revealed in and through me is the neutral witness that Christos, Krishna, Buddha, Allah, Pharaoh, Monarch, Divine Mother, Father, Sun conscious awareness. I am the visible, audible, and tangible flame of eternal life, breathing the scintillating prana-chi from the source to the root of my being, liquid rays of light, flooding my chakras, seated upon their lotus thrones of love, molten gold of enlightenment,
Shivering its ascension
up my spine, crowning my awareness with the diamond rays of attainment. Let's take a break for a few moments and do the samadhi game breath, the saga breath. These last stanzas we've read is the perfect flow of the breath down the front side of the body, and as we breathe out, it shiver back up to the spine, to the top of the head. So we're amplifying this light with the breath as we breathe in and feel the front side of the body relax all the way down to the perineum. And we feel that shiver of joy, that shiver of life back up through the spine to the top of the head. Let's go ahead and breathe together, breathing in and breathing out. If you place the tongue at the top of the mouth, continuing to breathe, and you breathe through the nose, you'll see that you can make this sort of sound of rushing waves on the sand. You can contract the perineum ever so slightly as you breathe out, so it's like a little trampoline at the bottom of the spine there, pushing this light back up the spine. This is how it sounds. So we like to practice this breath and feel that peace come about, and feel how you can infuse your breath with the light, the consciousness, so that it actually has a greater awareness. It's very yogic. Let's continue on with this mantra. As the white fire beam of my heart, I dynamically emanate and transmit this audible, tangible, fragrant, delectable, and visible substance of living samadhi as creativity and direction. I am a sun in the palace of the shining void, this temple a glistening world of infinite space. The process of my transformations, sounding the melodies, harmonies, and rhythms of the great solar symphony. I am the dazzling flame of life, here and now, because I am nowhere else, but everywhere, forever. I am Samadhi's palpable joy, tactile glory, and felt perfection of boundless being. I am that, I am that, I am that. I am, and here you can say the name that you know yourself to be. I am Gregory Donald Brinkley of unbiased perspective. I am Donald Allen Brinkley, standing over me and gracing me with his unbiased perspective. I am. You can say these types of things, this affirmation for yourself, this bringing into your awareness the perfect moment of the new name for you. I am Donald Allen Brinkley, standing within my heart with Gregory Donald Brinkley, unbiased perspective, manifest tantrically here and now. Something like that. Really giving yourself the leave to say something great about yourself. How often is it that you say anything great about yourself? That you really break the mold of the dual human ego of limitation, of politically correct living. Live big, live new, live artistically. An embodiment, an embodiment, an embodiment. I am oneness lived. Let's give the affirmation and prayer of divine masculine presence and power. We'll warm up the masculine and feminine today in honor of the masculine and feminine sparking and lightning bolts of thunder for tomorrow. And all love, all love. O sacred masculine essence of my eternal being, Holy One in my core, I am that I am. I am that divine masculinity within me now. I am the will of that kingly consciousness being done. I am the unchanging awareness of each moment, the natural spaciousness of each instant. On earth, that I am, even as I am that in heaven. This sacred, tangible silence, death to my ego, source of my sustenance, this radiant gift of love, heart of my purpose, the Dharma, freely given to all. This shining void of stillness consumes every temptation of duality. This presence of samadhi dispels all cross-currents of the human ego. I am transfiguration's total surrender, forgiveness, and reconciliation. I am resurrection's focus of wisdom and power. I am the absolute cooperation with the inevitable, ascension's expanding glory of eternal victory. All this freedom forevermore I am. Om, peace, amen, I am. And for the divine feminine, let's go. I am the divine feminine, the direct and connected fullness of beauty and forgiving grace, with me now in the intuition, dance, and relations of my heart, chalicing the hallowed vision, purpose, and paradigm of the golden age dawning. Blessed queens of Buddhic, angelic, and Christic realms, Kuan Yin, Green Tara, Holy Mary, or Pallas Athena, Parvati, Sarasvati, Lakshmi, whom I am. Here are calls for compassion, wholeness, and the manifest oneness in the flesh. And here, take the time now to formulate your own intention. It can be abstract, it can be concrete, something very focused. See and feel as though this intention were already manifest. There should be no problem in formulating an intention. We have so much to do on this planet. We've been given so much opportunity, so many books to write, so many songs to sing, so many dances to dance, so many kisses to give.
So many wishes, so many dreams.
So many dreams. Now, see and feel as though this intention were already manifest. You can choose a bunch of them. You can feel how good it is to feel that it is already done, already completed. The healing that you're asking for, already done.
That would be beautiful. It is beautiful.
It is beautiful now. Now mint this intention into a golden coin. Press it into this gold. Allow it to have a 3D image so that you can feel it in your heart. You can feel it with your mind's eye. You can see it gleaming in the sun. Minting this intention into a golden coin. You might want to put hearts around the edges. You might want to put Cupid's arrows flying, wings beating. Now toss this golden coin of your intention into the fountain of your life that swirls and dances all about you, even though we have this intention, we're unattached. Just toss it into this life. You know it's going to come back to you because it's your heart's love. And continuing on. Guide us, intensify our path, the direct and connected fullness of beauty and forgiving grace, the manifest experience of healing and truth, and the mastery, liberation, and triumph of enlightenment. I am the cradled babe of eternity, safe in the bosom of omnipresence. I am the cradled babe of eternity, safe in the bosom of omnipresence. I am the cradled babe of eternity, safe in the bosom of omnipresence. Okay, we're going to do a mantra to do the squares. We're going to do, I would like to take us, let me put us on so you're not going to get dizzy here. And well, you maybe just talk about what's coming up for tomorrow in terms of Valentine's.
Well,
and I'm going to find while you're doing that. What do you tell me? Tell me. I'm listening. I put her on the spot.
it's very rare I'm without words.
Well, we had something planned, but we had to change plans. We're doing
All
something.
those in Aspen, I'll see you soon.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes. We're going to be coming to Aspen probably the following
Sometime
week.
soon.
Yeah, sometime soon.
Yep.
But we're changing plans because we have some things that we're doing here that are even more fun.
They will be.
Yeah. Here we go. This is what I'd like. I'd like to do these, get some alchemical momentum going. And within, yeah.
Fun. Your idea of fun sometimes is masochistic.
Yes.
I love it. It's going to be good.
Yes. So Ruby Ray Power and Violet Compassionate Transmutation is in the 3rd chapter of the book. And these mantras deal with the acceleration of consciousness, the acceleration of your divine identity, which we established in chapter 1, and also the acceleration of your understanding of the dual human ego, which we established in chapter 2. So in chapter 3, we accelerate that consciousness so that it might, the human ego can actually melt. And we can change things, we can move things around, we can mold that clay exactly how we want it before it hardens and sets.
Yeah, because that's it.
Mm-hmm. Once it hardens and sets.
Hesitation kills. You have to act now.
So let's act. Let's give this Ruby Ray Power and Violet Compassionate Transmutation. We've given it a couple times over the past few days, and I like it. I like building this momentum with it. So let's go on. Let's do it. Adorable I am, Samadhi that I am, that supreme ruler of Ruby Ray Power and the unconditional love of the violet flame, that dispassionately dissolves, consumes, transmutes, and reconciles
all phases of the
wheel of karma in pure enjoyment. in resonant formation with the ascended Paramhansa Yogananda, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Hans Baba. By the way, Hans Baba is a teacher that I met in India when I went there. It's really great, really beautiful man, still in an embodiment, but I put his name there because he's so far away and he lives in such a humble state. I'm sure he wouldn't mind us all saying his name. But to say his name is to draw that image of his sweetness and his joy and his directive capacity to have a whole ashram, a whole community. When we think in the West, I just have to say this, when we think in the West of an ashram, what do you think of?
Tell me.
No, just you think of a couple of people meditating, right?
Yeah.
Coming together to meditate, maybe wearing a white shirt or, doing and having a meal together. In the East, an ashram is way more than that. It's way more. It's a community. It's like a town. It's a village. It's a whole. It can radiate.
One spiritual leader.
Yes, one spiritual leader. A whole area around his ashram is probably 50 kilometers in every direction.
Wow.
The villages and towns and people come to his ashram to adjudicate disputes. They come to find enlightenment, to find a higher way to live their life. They come to get married. They come to dance. They come to have feasts. They come to do all sorts of things.
So he's like a father figure for the town.
He is. He's like the father figure, this male figure of integrity that holds the truth, holds the wisdom for the entire community, the entire tribe, if you will. So the ashram is really quite a big thing. That's Hans Baba, and I digress. Let's get back to the mantra.
Hans Baba,
Sir Laugh-A-Lot, Saint Germain and Portia, Elohim, Arcturus and Victoria, Archangel Zadkiel and Holy Amethyst, Omri Tas, ruler of the violet planet, the great cosmic light and mighty lords of the flame from Venus, the hierarchs of the elements, Earth, Air, Fire, Water, and Akasha, Virgo and Pador, Aries and Thor, Prince Oramus and Diana, Neptune and Lavara, and Zeus and Tara. Just a moment on these. In the West, we don't think so much about calling to the beings of the elements. We don't really think so much about it, but we have it in our mythology, in our panoply of archetypes. It's the gnomes. It's the elemental beings, the gnomes, the sylphs, the undines. Shakespeare uses these names a lot. The sylphs, the undines, the fiery salamanders. These are the fire, the air, the water, and the earth. And we can call to their names. Why not? Why not be creative and use these names?
Yeah, you lose something, you call on a gnome to come help you find it. But then you tell him, get out.
Yeah, after that, now you want your space back.
Don't create havoc in my house. Go.
So let's go on. I fly towards the secret sky of ruby ray power and violet compassionate transmutation, and cause 100 veils of illusion to fall each moment. Let's just do that again. I fly towards the secret sky of ruby ray power, violet compassionate transmutation, and cause 100 veils of illusion to fall each moment. One more time. I fly towards the secret sky of ruby ray power and violet compassionate transmutation, and cause 100 veils of illusion to fall each moment. As Portia, Saint Germain, Claire de Lys, Linello, El Moria, Kuthumi, and the Maha Chohan, I'll fill you in on these all later, another time. I say, thus far and no further, I release the transfiguring action of ruby ray power and the measureless mercy of the violet flame into the cause, effect, record, and memory of that tempting and tormenting ego, including the fears and the desires of resolution and dispute. It is transmuted and consumed on the instant and love and unbiased perspective. I will it done by the power of love and unbiased perspective.
I open and
charge the golden pink radiance of divine love in its most powerful dynamic activity into the world and all mankind, and into the world of my mind, feelings, and body, my home, and all my spiritual, sexual, social, recreational, romantic, personal, family, domicile, dietary, health, medical, career, financial, business, political, and legal affairs. All compassionate I am Samadhi, that I am. I am the eternal, complete, and unconditional forgiveness and command of all dual human ego created down the corridors of past, present, and future. All transmuting I am Samadhi, that I am. I open through me now that violet consuming flame of divine love and compassion. I identify and surrender my human self-concern in all patterns and habits of duality, appetites for illusion, fears and desires of resolution and dispute. I dissolve and transmute them all, cause, effect, record, and memory, past, present, and future. I replace them all with the fullness of myself, including resolution and unbiased perspective.
State of perfect, right?
Yes. I was just thinking. Go ahead. I was thinking of something.
Go.
Well, I was thinking about how you use dispute artistically to uphold truth. Sometimes it's necessary and stands back. Sometimes it's necessary. Desire abuse the desire to uphold the truth. When the situation can't be resolved harmoniously, sometimes harmony is not the answer. Sometimes in this world, we have to stick to our guns. We have to stand for truth, come what may. We have to say what we believe is the truth of the matter, rather than just saying, well, let's just make peace.
Let it go.
Move on.
Corrective criticism is truth. It's okay. Say you go to a party and your friend it's an elegant party and friend is having a little too many martinis, and the attitude that comes out is just a little too hard. But because you don't want to hurt the feelings, you don't say anything, and then who does it hurt? The person who's not being corrected.
Yes. So there's a time and a place for the dispute. There's a time when you have to say, thus far and no further. Mm-hmm. I will not be tramped on. I will not be taken advantage of. I will not be marginalized. I will not be a what is it when someone is an alcoholic and someone else is the enabler? An enabler, of this behavior. I will stand for the truth, and I will stand for justice in this matter, come what may. I don't know. It came to me. So let's go back on to this mantra and say more. Let's go back to I identify and surrender my human self-concern and all patterns and habits of duality, appetites for illusion, fears and desires of resolution and dispute. I dissolve and transmute them all, cause, effect, record, and memory, past, present, and future. I replace them with the fullness of myself, including unbiased perspective, that state of perfect samadhi, held with full dominion, here, now, and forever. As the all-seeing I am of samadhi, my very own neutral witness and silent watcher of all mankind. Elohim Psychotopia, the great karmic board, and Saint Germain. I search the entire karmic record of all my past lives and its presentation in this life now. I identify, transmute, and transform all latent and or active returning mental, emotional, physical, and astrological debts and patterns deprived of frozen children, such as, and we can say this karmic pattern of resolution and dispute. We can also say these deprived or frozen children of what could we say is some frozen children of entitlement, competition, entitlement, arrogance, different words that might describe a child that's been frozen in privilege, over-privileged, over-spoiled, that kind of thing. You can say anything that you know to be, and be honest with it. And who cares if it's impinging upon you or someone else sitting in the room? Say it, and then it becomes open for transmutation. As long as it's hidden and criticized or judged that we might be going through these things, you'll never be able to change it. It can't be hidden. It can't be judged. It has to be open and free in order to be changed, in order to be healed, in order to be used properly in this world of duality. And then continuing on, all of these things seemingly affecting or influencing any person, place, condition, process, or thing I have wronged at any time, including, and here you can name your seeming enemies. Who do you think is your enemy right now? Do you really want them to continue to be your enemy?
No.
No, you don't. You want them to heal. You want to heal. Why did Jesus say, pray ye for your enemies? Because he knew that it is in the prayer that we have for our seeming enemies.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with
With
me.
me. Yes, that's it. And now here, I'm just going to scroll through the frozen child process. You can take the time to time travel, if you'd like, and look through this little manifesto here and see a technique that is very powerful for accessing all of your old pain and transmuting it very quickly. Lots of pointers here. It's a complex technique to do online, but in person, when you're sitting quietly in a room, wow, it is powerful. And here we go on, continuing. I am the full understanding and complete self-mastery over the causes and cores of these so-named conditions of seeming limitations, as well as all seeming yet to be named. By the law of forgiveness and grace that I am, I see clearly into the shells of the dual human ego consciousness and its resulting situations. I am ruby ray power and violet compassionate transmutation, blazing to the cause, effect, or record and memory of these snakeskins. Here and now, reconciling limitations born from fear and desire, and ascending into the perfection of my unique I Am presence, samadhi, and sexual essence. As the omniscient yoga of oneness that I am, I reach into the storehouse of my causal body with my great and loving arms of light, drawing forth 10 times more substance of life than was misqualified. Of that life substance, I fashion a unique healing form of the sacred fire, a perfectly suited antidote for each shadowy shape, process, and condition. I send it forth this instant,
to balance
tenfold every debt to every part of life. I give thanks and I accept it done this hour in full power. As the omnipotent purpose that I am, I dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile all karmic momentums of my past, present, and future, all distorted shapes of duality, doubts, fears, desires, and seeming forces of opposition within my own world and cross-currents of the human ego throughout the earth. I now cast all shadowy shapes created of the dual human ego, cause, effect, record, and memory, into the boiling sea and consuming fire of forgiveness, reconciling, replacing, and depolarizing, healing, and making art of the frequencies of the dual human ego, with the eternal, perfect, and ascended shape, feeling tone of the healthy, playful, and creative I Am Samadhi. This last stanza that we just said is the full-on realization of what enlightenment with squares can do for us. Let's go ahead and give it one more time and just keep moving on. I now cast all shadowy shapes created of the dual human ego, cause, effect, record, and memory, into the boiling sea and consuming fire of forgiveness, reconciling, replacing, and forgiving, depolarizing, healing, and making art of the frequencies of the dual human ego, with the eternal, perfect, and ascended shape and feeling tone of the healthy, playful, and creative I Am Samadhi. I flash ruby ray power and the violet lightning of divine love through all my spiritual, sexual, social, recreational, romantic, personal, family, domicile, dietary, health, medical, career, financial, business, political, and legal affairs. As the omnipresent void of eternity that I am, I capture the brains, bodies, and consciousness of every individual associated with these affairs, including, and here again, say your friends, your relatives, your siblings, your enemies, your so-called enemies. It doesn't matter if they think that they're thinking the same way that you're thinking. You need to forgive right now. You need to move on right now. Producing that purity, purpose, perfection, protection, and pointed direction. I illumine them all by the light of that truth, dharma, and authenticity, and keep that light forever self-sustained in the eternal glory and victory of that love, by the power, the activity, and the authority, the omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence that I am. I speak to my untransmuted karma, and to every discordant or limiting condition, judgment, deprived, or frozen child that would seek to repolarize and imbalance my dual human ego, including the fears and the desires of resolution and dispute. Dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile by the ruby ray and the radiant violet light of unbiased perspective. dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile by the ruby ray and the radiant violet light of unbiased perspective. Dissolve, consume, transmute, and reconcile by the ruby ray and the radiant violet light of unbiased perspective. I see you in process and perfect now. My world is filled to overflowing with the balance, perfection, and presence of I am Samadhi. I strip from you, O thou noble appearance of duality, all power to limit, harm, or disturb me, to judge, confuse, or intimidate me, past, present, or future. I walk henceforth as the quenchless fire of the shining void, and I know nothing. I do not know, and hence I am free. I know nothing.
Oh, stop that. Because
it is. I love this last line, though, because we give this entire mantra with such forceful knowing, with such volition of knowing. And it's good that we do so. But in the end, we just have to give it back to this big, fat zero of unknowing. We give it away. We let go of even that. Even our call, we let go of it. And exist,
see what happens?
And see what happens. And let life arise before us. Let it come.
Road, yeah.
Let the road rise up before us. We're not exactly sure of how it's all going to happen, but we're putting our best foot forward. We're stepping on that road with these words of enlightenment. We're paving the road with these words of enlightenment. And believe me, this matrix is powerful. It is the reason. This is how religion was formed. Religions came together because there were words of enlightenment. There was instruction to be given. There was instruction to be realized within the adherents of that religion. There was this is the words that are used in magical formulas of the production of tangible tantric gifts in the hand. The use of the words is our way of experiencing the descent of light from our highest self through our crown chakra, our third eye chakra, our throat chakra, our heart chakra, and into manifestation in the lower chakras, the solar plexus, the seat of the soul, and the base of the spine. So you can feel its descent as you say the words. You can feel this vibration as it resonates through you all the way down to the very earth plane. Manifest, manifest, manifest. And that's the Tantra.
Tantra doesn't always have to mean bedroom. True?
Not always.
Doesn't mean it all.
Not always.
Well, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, right. So I want to thank you.
What does Tantra mean?
Tantra literally means webbing. It means webbing. It means, and for me, I use it in a way that means integration, because a webbing is always an integration. It's an integration of not only spirit and matter, but of the lower parts of ourselves with the higher parts of ourselves. It's an integration that makes the shadows part of the palette of our existence. It makes the shadows. It brings the shadows into focus in such a way that we can use them to make our lives more beautiful than if it was just flat light. I think what's happened in a lot of the world religions is it's tried to make lives flat light, even in some paths of enlightenment. We're not trying to do that with Samadhi Game. We're trying to be very balanced in our approach to enlightenment, and that we use not only light, the light of the neutral witness, and today the neutral was an unbiased perspective, but he also become aware and familiar with the frequencies of the dual human ego, and bring that light down in such a way that we can choose and pick from that dual human ego to create a beautiful canvas.
Yes, an individual character.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. It's so. There are communities where everybody has to act the same way.
Yes. That's not how it is in the Samadhi Game community. Even though we have a common manifesto of enlightenment that we can speak together, which is really fun. To speak it together.
When I do this, my character is built different than your character.
Yes.
Because what do you call them? The gods? Or the
gods.
god, whatever?
The gods.
Come and help me build my character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going by a manifesto of wear a blue suit with a white shirt with black shoes and don't smile in public. Don't
kiss
slatch.
in public.
Don't kiss in public. Don't raise your voice. Don't speak too softly. Don't say that word. Lose the accent.
No, we're each individuals,
And
and
you're
we're
allowed
each.
to emphasize it,
Yes.
and the goodness comes out.
And that's what actually happens with the samadhi game, is that as we pull down this light into our beings, it emphasizes the unique value. It's like when you have we've all stood inside of a beautiful church with stained glass windows around it, and at that nighttime you cannot see anything of that stained glass window. As the dawn rises, the colors start to become apparent. And at noon, when the light is shining bright through that window, you can see the crack in that pane.
Yeah.
And so as we raise that light, the individuality comes out. The strength of our individual nature comes forth. It doesn't reduce. Not with these mantras. These mantras are written in such a way that your individuality is amplified.
You can grow wings.
You can grow your own wings of
Yeah.
individuality and sing it to all mankind as your gift given gone.
Which means whatever you can give to people,
if it's a
through
smile,
character, it's a smile. When you give it, don't expect them to smile back, but most likely they will. That's what gift giving
Eventually
gone
they
means.
will.
When you give a gift to something, you don't expect something in return. Gone, it's gone. But sometimes it boomerangs back. Sometimes it does, and then
Yeah.
you're like, me?
Thank you,
Thank you.
universe.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Samadhi Game. Thank you for joining us. We started this broadcast about an hour and a half ago. We had a little technical problem at the beginning. Somehow the sound wouldn't work, so we tried it again. I'm not sure at this point whether that first portion was recorded at all, but you might want to go back and check and see. It's going to be archived as well. We're going to archive this. You can come back to it and listen to it again. We'll play a little music in departure, music for love, music in honor of Valentine's Day coming up. Today we cleared the slate.
Forgiveness is out there.
Yes, we worked with the negativity that can be directed at both individuals and couples when you start to embrace the light. So we're ready for a huge onslaught of light and love
Ready.
on Valentine's Day. And we're going to be sharing it with you. We might even have a spontaneous
Love fest.
broadcast at some point in the next 3 or 4 days. We'll call it a love fest.
That's it.
So,
all you need is love. It's true, and everything else falls into place.
Come visit with us again on Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 o'clock for the music portion of the show. Gets you warmed up for the affirmations. And at 8:30 Mondays and Wednesdays for the actual affirmations and processing of the dual human ego, making us all artists and healers with great big smiles on our faces. Enjoy the music. Love you all. Here we go. See if we can get that music playing.
Maybe.
It'll come.
Which one?
I don't know. Let's see. There it is.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.